Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel again. Well, the biggest question I get asked is, well, I'll rephrase that, the most common questions I get asked is always about batteries. Yeah, I get asked about other stuff and everything, but I get asked something to do with batteries at least a few times a month. I was going to say every week, but it's not every week, that's a lie. But at least three times a month I'd say somebody will ask me about batteries, and it's almost always the same question. Sort of like for instance, I've got this quad and all the bits say I need a 3-cell or a 4-cell Lipo, so can I use any 4-cell on the market or any 3-cell, or which is the best to use, and things like that. And the second most common question I get asked, and I get this one asked more than anything, is what's the C rating and does it matter? Right, as in you might say 45C or 100C and stuff like that. What is it and does it matter? Well, we're going to go to table and talk about batteries and different ones, and the best ones that I think, right, for brand new pilots, and the best ones for pilots who are a bit more experienced, who can really fly, right? I'm not talking about professional, my standard, so that's not very high bar. I'm not raising the bar too high, just say my standard, which isn't that great anyway. Right, I'm slowing down in my old age. No, but what I will do is I'll just tell you about the C rating first, right, before we jump to the table, because it's sort of like, this is how I explain it to new pilots who've got no idea, right? Rather than getting complicated with terminology and stuff like that, I explain it real simple, right, with like a leak in the roof. Now, imagine a leak in the roof. You've got a leak in the roof, right, and it's just dripping, right? But in your next room, say your kitchen, right, you've got a bigger hole and the water's dripping, right, but it's coming out a lot faster, right? The small little drip, right, could be classed as say a 40C with just a drip of water. The bigger hole in your kitchen could be classed as say a 90C. Now, if you think about the water as power, right, the C rating is basically telling you how much power you can punch out, or how much power is released constantly. So a 45C would be releasing a drip, shall we say, right? But a 90C or a 100C, the tap would be turned on full and the water would be pouring out. However, like it says on most batteries, it might say 40C with a 85C burst. And what that means is when you're flying, if you need to whack your frigging throttle stick up, it will give you that big burst of power if you need it. Okay, now that's really the simplest way of explaining what the C rating does. Right? And I recommend, right, if you're a racer, right, you already know this, you're going to be getting the highest C rating you can get your hands on because you want that punch of power. Right? But your batteries are going to cost more, as you will already know. But for just a gentle freestyle pilot like me, right, I always go for the lower C. Not a cheap nasty battery, right? I've been using them, which you'll see, them, I can never pronounce it, Tattu 1550s, but other stuff as well. And the Turnigy Graphenes. But no, not necessarily a cheap battery, but a lower C rating. And your battery will be cheaper, and sometimes you can save about 6 or 7 quid on a battery by getting a 40C rather than an 80C. Right? Because if you're a freestyle float about type pilot and occasionally do a power loop or whatever, then you can use a low C battery. There's no need to purchase the highest C rating battery you can get your hands on, because one, they're going to cost more. Two, if you're only flying freestyle, you probably won't use that sort of power anyway. Right? It's really there to punch your power constantly, and like I said, for racing, really, unless you're a freestyle pilot who likes to race around the field. But anyway, yeah, that's C ratings. Okay, Right, so now let's jump down to the table and take a look at a few batteries. And like I said, this is questions I get asked, but this is sort of like, I'm going to keep it super simple, super basic, as I do for like new pilots who might not understand what's what. Right, I'm going to cover as much as I can, and I'm going to keep the lingo basic, so if anyone watches this, right, they'll always say, hey, you don't call it that, and you didn't mention the voltage range or the you know what I mean. Right, I'm keeping it super simple, super basic, so everyone can understand, especially new pilots. So let's take a look at some batteries, talk about them, and tell you which ones I recommend for the brand new pilot and which ones I fly with. Right, okay then, to the table. Okay then, I've just whacked 4 batteries on here. Alright, these two are 4-cell 1300, that's a 3-cell 1300, and that's your Tattu 1550. Okay, now what do them numbers mean? Well, a battery, if you didn't know, it basically layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers, are like a carbon fibre sheet. Not quite, but like a carbon fibre sheet. And in between of them sheets, there's like a, how can I explain it? Like inertial gases. Right? And when you charge your battery up, that's where the charge is going, and that's where it gets released. And if you've watched any YouTube videos where some idiot's gone along with a hammer or a nail and burst his battery, and you see all that gas come out and stuff, that's the inertial gases that's inside the battery. Okay. Now, like I said, first of all, what do these numbers mean? Right, basically it means how much power the battery is holding at a full charge. Like these 3, as I said, are 1300s, this one's a 1550, so this one holds more power, so yes, you're going to get a longer flight time. Alright, now I'm saying that judging on you're flying steady and you're doing exactly the same type of flying with each of these batteries. You're flying in a straight line at, let's just say, 10 mile an hour. Right, you're gonna get more flight time out of the 1550. Right, of course, if you're flying like a complete crazy man with that battery, but flying super gentle with that battery, you're gonna get more flight time out of that. But as a rule, right, the more milliamps, right, the longer the flight time. Okay, as a rule of thumb. Right, moving on to the cells. Right, before I start giving you any recommendations and everything, I just want to go through a few things. Right, cells, that's what's actually holding the power. As you can see better with this one, it's got 4 individual strips, which is basically 4 individual batteries in one. Right, each one of them are classed as a cell, so this has got 4 cells in. You can't see on this one, right, but this is actually a 3-cell. Right, these are 4 cells too, but this is the biggest one, right, slightly wider, the graphene, and this little ZIPPY Compact looks a bit skinnier, but these are all 4-cell lipos. Right, now this is a 13, even though that's a 1550, you'd figure that would be smaller, but it basically, that just comes down to how they're being made. Right, so the cells, that's basically the cells covered. I'm trying to keep this simple. I don't want to get technical, because I want to get on to what a lot of new pilots want to know, is which battery should I bloody buy, George. I don't care about how else. Right, well, let's assume you're a brand new pilot, right, and this is what I say to new pilots, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me here. I always say get a 3-cell lipo, right, only a couple of them, right, to have your first few flights, because if you don't like, these are cheap, you see, you can get these for about 6 or 7 quid, right, whereas these are like nearly 20 quid, alright. So if you don't like flying, you decide it's not for you, it's only cost you, say, 6 or 7 quid, right, for a couple of these, right, each of course. Alright, so I always say start with a 3-cell, 3 of them, there's 3 of them cells, a 3-cell, a 1300 3 cell. Plus, because it's only 3 cell, it's not got as much power, even though this one here is a 3 cell, right? Same thing, 1300, but because this is a 4 cell, right, it can store more power, so it's got more of a kick, more of a punch. Okay, but I always say for a brand new pilot, start with a 3 cell, try it. Don't go out and buy 20 of these things, because if you love it and you fall in love with a hobby, you're going to have to go out and buy better batteries, and then you don't know what you're going to do with these, right? But yeah, just get a couple of these. You can always sell them on bloody eBay, right, in the future, like most people do. I'll give them to another new pilot. I've given loads of these bloody things away. Yeah, but your quad will fly slower, it'll have less power, right, and you'll get some nice steady smooth flights just to get used to the feel of it. So I always say for a brand new pilot, start with a 1300 1.3 3 cell battery. Right, now I've also been asked, as long as it's a 3 cell, can I use any size? Like, could I go up to 14 or 1500? Well, yes, you can. However, that doesn't mean you can go mental and put one of them on. Right, believe it or not, that's a 3 cell and that's a 3 cell. They're both 3 cell lipos. Right, but this is a 5200. Right, this is a huge bugger. Now, funnily enough, yes, you could plug this into your quad. Right, and assuming the props are big enough, your quad would probably take off. But that's the thing, the bigger you go, the more weight you're adding. This weighs about 4 times as much as this little thing. So the amount of power the motors will have to frigging spin to lift this off the frigging ground, right, is well, you're gonna burn out your motors because the amount of power they'll need, because it's so heavy. So just because you've got a 3 cell battery, that doesn't mean you can go mental and get something huge. That's why I recommend a 1300 3 cell for a brand new pilot. Just get a couple, try it out. If you like the hobby, then you can move up to something else. Alright, now batteries I recommend for a more advanced sort of flyer, somebody a bit like me, so not that advanced as I said. Right, but yeah, these batteries are bloody great. Right, these little Turnigy ZIPPY Compact, not Turnigy, just ZIPPY Compact 1300 4 cell batteries. Right, you'll get about 3 minutes, and they're a nice little flyabout battery. That I've got, I think I've got about 6 of these, and I still use them. Right, they are a nice battery to fly with, and I'll tell you what, they take some punch. Sometimes I've been flying and I've pushed the cell count right down. Right. And they aren't puffed up, they're being fine. They're a great cheap little battery. Okay, but moving on to something better, right, would be the Turnigy Graphene 1300 pack. Sorry, yeah, that's the right way, 1300 pack. That bloody tape's throwing me off. Yeah, these are great batteries. Some people have the frigging ifs and buts and coconuts about them, but I've been using these since they came out. I've got quite a few of these bad boys, right, and I like them. Once again, the 4 cell, right, 1300, and they are nice batteries, and you've got plenty of kick, plenty of push, plenty of power. Right, you'll get your average 3-minute flight time out of them, right, and they are really nice batteries to use. Now, which is the best? Right, and that's what most people want to know. The best, in my opinion, is the Tattu 1550. Right, this is the best 4 cell lipo on the market, and it's only the short one. It's only the low C rating. It's only a 45C. It's the cheaper one. You can get I think it's 85C. Could be wrong, but I think it's 85C, and it's about £4 more. Right, and a lot of people I see using them. I was watching a guy on YouTube, and he was on about the 85 or 75C, and he was flying like me, just nice gentle steady flights. I'm thinking, well, you've just spent about an extra £4 or £5 or whatever it was getting the high C rating, and you don't need it. because even though this is a 45C, you've still got, I can't see from here, it'll say somewhere, oh bloody hell, it'll say somewhere on there in the super small writing, which I can't see, or it'll be on the instructions in the box, it'll have something like an 80 or a 90C burst. So if you come into a situation where you need to blast a load of power, right, it's there for you. Right, but yeah, there you go then. That is the best of the best, in my opinion. Well, actually, it's not just my opinion. There's plenty of people out there that think these are the best. There are other batteries, right, but like I said, I think these are the best, the 1550. Now, shall we say why? One, you've got the 4-cell, which I know a lot of people are moving up to 5-cell and 6-cell and stuff like that, but me, no, I don't need to for freestyle, right? You got your 4-cell, so it's holding plenty of power. It's 1550, so it's holding more power than your 1300s, right? So there's more charge that goes into it when it's fully charged, so you get longer flight time. On a nice steady flight, right, not pushing it, right, you'll get about 4 minutes out of this, maybe 4.5, right? On, shall we say, a normal freestyle flight where you might be doing plenty of loops and rolls and maybe diving a few trees and stuff like that, you're going to easily get 3.5 minutes out of one of these. Okay, so you've got more power, right, you've got longer flying time, right, and they're a good size. They're a great size, right, for mounting on your quads, because like I said, this is a 4-cell, the same as that, right, and it's only 1300, and this is 1550, and this is bigger, right. It's a tiny bit longer, I don't know if you'll see that, but it's a tiny bit longer in length, right. It's definitely wider. If I show you that way and try and line it up, let me just line them up so there's no cheating. Now you can see there, that end sticks out a lot more, so it's fatter, right, and that way it's night and day. If I line that up, get that lined up there, you can see that end sticks out a lot more again. So this one is smaller, right, and surprisingly the weight almost the same, right. It's the way these are made, right, that's why they're more expensive, a lot more. You can pick them up for about 12 quid nowadays, the graphene 1300s. One of these that you're looking at just under 20 quid, maybe 17 pounds, something like that. Right, you'll have to shop around. If I remember, I'll leave a link. Oh, there you go, quadcopter.co.uk sell them, Electric Wingman sell them. This is if you're in the UK. Right, if you live in the UK, don't bother buying batteries from like Banggood or out like that, because of the new laws in shipping and stuff. It'll probably cost you just as much, right, on shipping than what the battery is. So if you live in the UK, get your batteries from the UK. Alright, so I'll leave a couple of links in the description, but like I said, Electric Wingman, quadcopter.co.uk, there's a few places, right, but shop around because the prices do vary slightly and you could save a couple of quid. But yeah, so this is the battery I prefer. I still use these other ones, right. I've only got I think it's 6 or 7 of these anyhow, so I ain't got loads of them. Right, so if I'm going out for an entire day and having a good session, I take obviously all of them, and then I take say 4 or 5 graphenes, and then 3 or 4 of them. I take, depending how long I'm going to be out, right. But you get longer flight time, you've got the power and the punch, right, and they are awesome batteries. And the good thing about them is you never want to push a battery all the way down, right, never, right, but you can take these as low as you dare, as in push the limit as low as you dare, and I've never had one puff. Now I've already done a review on this smaller Tattu, because I've got for my smaller quads, because that's all I use on my small quads. I've got loads of the 850s, the 650s, I've got boxes and boxes of the bloody things. Right, they are awesome batteries, and I've never ever had one puff up, and that's even when I've really pushed it to the limit, draining the battery down, which you shouldn't really do. Right. In beta flight, on your on-screen display, you can have your milliamps, so you can watch your milliamps going down, and you can also have your average cell count. Right, go to your on-screen display, it's about the third or the second one down, right, box you tick, and it says average cell count. Put that in the corner of your on-screen display, right, and you want to keep your cell count, right, to play it safe. This is above 3.4, 3.5, right. I know some people will say different, but I just said to play it safe, and I know a lot of new pilots might just get mixed up with that. Okay, so there you go then, right, brand new pilot, never flown before, not sure if they're going to stick with it. Just get yourself a couple of cheap 1300 3 cells, right, just cheap ones. If you really like the hobby, then you can move up to something else, right. If you've been flying a little bit, right, this is the battery I recommend, right, and this one's for you, Mark and Faye. Right, Mark was asking in one of his videos, and I said I was making this video, right, so yeah, I recommend one of these, Mark, and like I said, I'll leave links in the description if I remember, but I've already told you where you can get them from. These are bloody awesome batteries. They will last you a long time. They've got plenty of power for freestyle, right, get the 45C, don't waste your money buying the more expensive, right, they've got plenty of kick, plenty of power, right, and they are an awesome battery, and you'll get plenty of flight time out of them. Right, I actually posted my first flight, well, it would either be yesterday or today, depending on when I post this. It's just a gentle flow, right, because I ain't been out for a couple of weeks, and I flew with one of these, and if you watch the video, it's just one flight, it's just a gentle flight. I ain't been out a couple of weeks, as I just said, and it's about 4.5 minutes flight time, right, and I was using one of them. Okay then, I'm going to leave it there. If I've skipped over anything, which I may have done, I apologise, but new pilots, just leave a comment and I'll be happy to get back to you with any information you might want to know. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, and cheers.